Hello everybody, and welcome back to the kitchen here at Oso Libre. Although I might say today it's the laboratory because we're trying something different. It seems like there's a common recurring theme of the top round roast. And what I'm trying to do is try different and unique ways of cooking it. Kind of like if you know anything about Portuguese people and the salt codfish bacalhau, they have cookbooks called 365 Ways to Cook Bacalhau. So what we're trying to do is just come up with new and unique ways for doing top round roast. So today I'm going to do a beef Barolo recipe, which is basically beef that's braised in Barolo wine. But today I'll be using Oso Libre wine. And instead of, well, my method of braising is going to be in an Instapot. And last time we used the sous vide device and we cooked it for, I believe, 19 hours. This time, our piece of meat that we have up front is frozen solid, and we will be cooking it. It's going to be cooked in the Instapot for an hour, but there's a little bit of prep time. What you need to really pay attention to, they say, oh, you do it all in one pot. And we will be doing it all in one pot, but it's going to take a couple turns of the pot for us to actually get it done. And so just to start off now, what we have is a top round roast that I pulled from the freezer just a little while ago. And one thing I did do, I didn't defrost it, but I did put it in a bowl and ran warm water, lukewarm water over it for about 10 minutes. And what that did, that allowed a little bit of pliability to come to the outside of the meat, softened it up a little bit, and that allowed it to take on seasoning. So I did salt and pepper this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown it on all sides, and then we'll move forward. So I have my Instapot, and if you guys aren't familiar with these, this is my first time using one. So if anything goes wrong, you'll be able to watch it with me. It's got all sorts of nice buttons on it. I've turned it on the saute function. So this is actually acting as a pot on my stove. And so I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. Let that heat up. And what I'm going to do then is take this piece of meat and I'm going to brown it on all sides. Okay, about 12 minutes has gone by. We've taken the roast and we've browned it on all sides. There we go. And then I'm going to deglaze the bottom of the pan with a little bit of Carnal barrel sample. Now I got everything soft in the pot. So what we're going to do next is we're going to saute up some vegetables. A little bit of onion. Basically one onion and then equal amounts of celery and carrot. And just going to saute those, again using the saute function on the Instapot. We're going to get them a little soft. Okay, about 5 minutes has passed and we've just been sauteing the vegetables to get them a little soft and aromatic. That way when the cooking starts, they release their flavors in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a can of diced tomatoes. That's going to go in, be the base for our sauce. And when we're done cooking the meat, this is going to end up being the our sauce. And we'll use an immersion blender and turn it into a nice thick sauce. So tomatoes are all stirred in. Next we're going to be adding the meat. Meat comes back. We want to nestle it in there so that it's on top of the vegetables but at the right height for a pressure cooker. And next comes the wine. So we're going to add enough wine to just kind of come about halfway up the roast. There we go. I can have a glass of that later. And we're now ready to start the 1 hour cook. You'll notice we've only used one pot. We did get one plate and a bunch of bowls and other stuff dirty, but we're only cooking on one pot. I'm also going to put a couple sprigs of rosemary on top, again for the aromatics of it, right there. And so I need to turn it off, cancel, and it is now off. Now it's time for the lid. So the lid is now on. I need to be sure that I have it sealed. And I'm going to come around to the other side. And we're going to go pressure cook. And we're going to do it for an hour. And pressure level. Okay, pressure level is high. So the pressure cook is started. The nice thing about it is when it finishes, if I'm not around, it goes to keep warm. And so then we'll check back on this in an hour and be ready to eat. See you then. We're going to be pairing this lovely dish with our 2015 Por Vita. It's going to go great with this, I can tell. Let me see if I can dismantle this properly. Got to walk around, take a look at the control panel. Like I said, when it finishes, it's keeping warm, but I'm going to hit cancel. And now the Instapot is off. For some reason, I always do it with a spoon on the internet because we're worried about it blowing up, but I'm going to hit the depressurize. Ooh. Okay, that's it. Let's open it up and see what we got. Pulling off the lid. And there it is. Smells good, looks good. I'll take the rosemary out. And what was frozen about an hour ago is now sitting here in this great juice. Kind of set it down there. You can see it took on some of the color of the wine. There we go. And voila. Now, the sauce. Just convert to sauce. There we go. Sauce. Now we're getting to plate up our meal. So simple enough. Take 2 cakes like that for presentation. And then 3 pieces of beef. There. Just gonna put some sauce. There you go. Beef, I'd say beef Barolo, but beef Oso Libre style, braised in carnal. And then, like I said, we are going to pair it today with our Por Vita. Reason for that is the Movedra in it that kind of gives it a nice earthy characteristic. It's going to blend nicely with the sauce that we have on the meat. Por Vita is our blend of 3 red varieties grown on the property. Cabernet Sauvignon is the base, Primitivo, and then rounded out with Movedra. And so now I'm going to try the beef. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm impressed. Good flavor. And goes excellent with the wine. So if you have an Instapot, there's something new for you to try. Um, I'm kind of impressed. I didn't think it would happen, but it did. So thanks for joining us this week in the lab, and we'll see you next time.